Welcome back to the Open World RPG in Dream series. In this devlog, I'll be working on the logic of the enemy and making some changes to the health bar. Let's go into this enemy and make sure it has 2 hitboxes. Every enemy needs to have 2 hitboxes, which is going to be kind of annoying, but I don't think there's any way around it. Here's the physical hitbox, and then here's the magical hitbox. The magical one is, again, going to be faux weapon. Physical is going to be faux machine. I like this system. I think it makes sense. So this is for magic damage, and this is for physical damage. We're going to set the current health to the max health. So again, we're only using these to read how much damage it's being dealt. To store the health, I think what we're going to do is have a looped calculator. And that way we'll be able to just subtract whatever health goes into here. Oh, and I broke the enemy. Okay. Wow. We've got some combat related things to clean up. Let's have some sliders. So we're gonna have one for max health. I mean, honestly, shouldn't we have like a bunch of different stats? Max health, move speed. What else? Damage. Armor. So physical resistance, magical resistance. Yeah, damage type. Well, I'm not sure. I think the damage type I would just put in the attack, and then we're gonna put damage into the health modifier like that. We're gonna multiply whatever that number is by -1. I'll just manually set this. So we want it to be machine, which will damage, which will be physical damage and all selected. So it doesn't damage trees. So move speed. Like that. With the move speed, let's put it back to 15. What about max health? Let's just set that to 50. Max health is going to be what initializes this calculator. So we're going to pulse this signal on for 1 frame. That's what a pulse is. And this should just, yeah, this should initialize it to 50. Okay, so damage. Okay, the damage, let's make it 2. Let's make it, oh my goodness. What about physical resistance and magical resistance? Well, this is going to go into here. I haven't quite figured out how resistance actually affects how much damage you take, but here's where the physical damage is, here's where the magical damage is. So physical will lower this, magical will lower this. We have 1 emitter for physical. Let's do the emitter for magical now. And it's actually kind of important that we make these emit in 2 different spots. Because if, let's say your weapon deals half magical and half physical, we don't want the numbers to perfectly overlap. What are we going to do for the physical resistance and magical resistance? I want this guy to resist, maybe he has like 2 armor and no magical resistance. So physical resistance like is a number like 1, 2, 3, and then what is that number, like how does that translate? Maybe it's like 1% reduced damage. So if you have maybe this is just straight up a percentage. The issue I have with percentage is that with low values, it like basically doesn't do anything. Or maybe we could do some sort of formula. For every 2 points of physical damage, so like let's say you have 4 physical resistance, it would reduce your damage by 2 and by 2%. I don't know, like I can make it as complicated or as simple as I want. I don't know. Why do enemies even need resistance? You can't tell what they are. Yeah, well, okay, so, I mean, we still need the number, right? Because like, I want some enemies to be weak to magic and some to be weak to physical. I like percentage. I feel like it would be easy to balance around. So maybe this guy's 20%. And I can give him as much armor as you want. Because like with the player, you'll need to like buy pieces of armor. And the better the armor, the more physical resistance. But for the enemies, I can just give them a number. 100 minus 25 is 75, and 75 is the percent of damage we are actually taking, we being the enemy. 75, ooh, I missed a step. 75 times 0.01 converts it to a percentage, and then we multiply that by the health. I would like to get the health bar in here. I need to make like a base enemy, but not for like in-game thermo wise, just like, so like, let's say I want to change something in this. It'll change it for all of the enemies is what I meant. Now, what I actually need to do is like, which I don't know if this is ideal, but I need to like save out this plus these two things plus this. This is so weird. But it's what I need to do. Otherwise, I'd have to change everything for every enemy. Let's do this. We're gonna set ourselves up. The work we put in now will help in the future. So we have this cube. This is our template enemy. So we're going to put everything on this template enemy that should be on the template. I don't know what else to say. I believe that's everything. Probably the loot table. So the loot is something that we'll be able to add to this template because every enemy is going to have some sort of loot table. And the loot table logic I can add to this. I don't know how it's going to work yet, but because I'm adding this logic to every single enemy, I will be able to add it just once and then update. You know what? We should have a death chip, actually. That should be a part of the template. So dead turns on to the death chip. Natalie sent me a Snapchat of Pika. She's abusing our cat. I think this is looking very good for the template. We're going to save this as its own creation. And this is going to be enemy template. And we are going to put this enemy template in every single enemy, including this one. Yeah, we definitely should test it as well. I'm pretty sure we can just plop it in here. Ooh, why is it taking 10 magic damage? That's weird. Oh, and it's gaining health. Okay, so there are some issues. So let's get the enemy template and let's actually do this. How are we gonna get this to work? Well, we have our chip. As well as this, as well as this, as well as this. We also need, we don't want the hitboxes. Again, we want to use the entire enemy template. Don't need that. Okay, and we really want to center this. That's because the death chip is on. Okay, so death should be on only if you're dead. Why is dead wired up? Oh, we have a death chip. Honestly, it's fine. There we go. All right, it's fine. There we go. Yep, that makes more sense. I think this is fully transferred over. Okay, well, not fully. It should be safe to delete this. So we're going to delete it. Now, is it fully transferred over? I think it is. And the idea, guys, is that I'll be able to update the enemy template with anything, and it will update this. So check this out, guys. I just put the enemy template in the basic tree enemy. So the basic tree enemy is using the enemy template. I am now going to update the enemy template. And what I'm going to do is add a health bar. Let's find the health bar, which is here, and let's add it to the template. Let's just try that and see what happens. I'm just going to save it and see if it updates properly. All right, let's see what happens when I update. Okay, so it moved it and okay. All right. And it's grouped. So that's good to know. I didn't actually have to group the health bar because it's already grouped. Ooh, wait. Well, that's not how I want it though. Okay, that's okay. Let's not save the update. And let's see what happens when we do group this in. So I've grouped the health bar thing in with all of the other objects, right? Now I'm hoping when I update, it won't just explode. All right, let's update. Hey, look at that. So we scope in and it's actually a part of the group. That's perfect. So we have the health bar. Of course, the health bar isn't aligned, but that's okay. We know the enemy template updates, which is awesome. I have like the opposite of a photograph memory. If I do something a lot, I remember it really, really well, and it becomes like second nature. But if I do something just like once or twice, it is gone. That's part of the reason why like pop culture and like geography related things I'm just so bad at, because like I don't use it and it just leaves my head. Okay, so let's continue updating this enemy template. This is such a nice workflow. We actually have to wire the health up. How about that? Current health, max health. This is good. Let's save it. And now we update it, and every single enemy will get this update. There's only one enemy, but still. Are you gonna make an item that permanently increases your max health? Yeah, no. I think I decided that I wanted your combat levels. Melee, ranged, and magic to increase your max health, which is an interesting decision. But I think that kind of makes sense because like it's kind of like your experience in combat. You get more health. Oh, and yeah, look at that. Now we have a health bar. Notice how it says 50, which is the health we chose this guy to have. This is cool. I really like this template workflow that we have. The enemy is just not here anymore. Oh, that's really weird. All right, so we want basic tree enemy. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that happened. There we go. Our enemy has a health bar now. That looks pretty clean. Hopefully it works. Yeah, I didn't wire up the mover. Did I do anything right? No, of course not. Okay, well this was a separate issue. I also don't like how shouldn't that display over top of everything? Okay, well, obviously there are some issues. Yeah, it's dealing negative damage there somehow. And so we have there's your issue. So we wanted to add these two numbers together and then multiply by -1. We were doing the negative twice. That should address the issue. With the tree enemy, there's a lot of things wrong. Like nothing is linked up because I didn't link anything up because I'm dumb. Hopefully it's obvious why this happened. It's because I changed chips, but the gizmos didn't move. Fortunately, all the sounds moved properly. Okay, I think this will work. Let's save it. If we just fix all of our issues, that would be pretty nice. But, I mean, chances are we didn't. All right. All right, we fixed most of them. Well, okay. We forgot to address the fact that health could go below 0. Okay, also death just doesn't work. We didn't hook that up. Why can't it move? I thought I fixed that. We didn't hook up the movement. So it was working. It was working perfectly, actually. We just had the movement speed set to 0. So that'll do it. We want to fix the health in the enemy template. So if it equals 0, you're dead. But let's address the issue of magic damage not working properly. I'm not sure, but at least we fixed one issue, I think. We'll have to take a look at it in the actual scene. It's my weapon. My weapon is dealing magic damage. That's the issue. My weapon's literally just dealing magic damage. Oh, so actually, I don't want to save it yet. There was one more thing. Man, I completely forgot. I was like, yeah, I'll do it later. It's just dealing damage to foes, not faux magic or faux machine or faux weapon. I want this to appear on top. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. It's gonna look a little crazy, but I don't know. So we should, oh, come on. Oh, wait. He'll get there eventually. There you go. And he does no damage. Oh, the zone is just too small. Wow. Oh, we forgot the destroyer doesn't work. Man, okay, really quick though, let's just fix this attack. Go to the health modifier, and this is faux machine. All right, here we go. There you go. So it's only dealing physical. Perfect. Let's fix the destruction effect now. Okay, so we're having issues destroying. Why is that? Well, that's because of this. So we want to destroy this entire thing like that at the end of this animation. I actually covered this move speed bug in my video of like things you should watch out for. And it's right here. And the solution, I actually remember, is to multiply by 1. So whenever you're feeding a number into this, you have to multiply it by 1, like within the gadget. It's a super weird issue, but it has to do with like the scale of things. Did we solve all the issues? I hope so. Let's find out. There you go. It's looking good. Oh, he's flying. We forgot to we forgot to adjust something. It's all good though. And then it should. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, the health bar stand there is a little wonky. I agree. I feel like it should like fade away. All right, so here's my idea. We have a second destroyer that destroys the health the health bar after it dies, after a delay. Locking to the ground should be in the template. We need to make sure that this is actually connected, which it's not at the moment. And that was the issue, by the way. And now we have 2 of these chips. What the heck? So we have to be careful about that. We have this snap to ground, and then we have this snap to ground. Which we named stick to scenery. Much better. This should work now. I said that like 5 times today, but you know. There you go. Enemy name's not destroying. That's unfortunate. All right, for this specifically, I needed to add it here. So after about 2-ish seconds, the health bar will destroy it. I'll do it exactly 2 seconds. How about that? There. I like that. I like that. It stays around for a little bit. Oh, the bow's dealing magic damage. Oh, that's an issue. I'm glad we found that. And the issue was the hitboxes weren't going away when you killed it. Oh, and that'll solve the issue of being able to deal damage to it once it's dead as well. There you go. You can walk right through. That's really clean. That's really, really clean. I like it. Go on to the next issue now, which is showing how much damage the player took. These health displayers, I think we just don't do it, right? We just do it on screen. Do we do like a little number off the health bar? Where would I display that? Like, I don't know how to make this look good. Here, actually, we can just do this, but on screen. Let's see what that looks like. I have a feeling this isn't gonna look good. But yeah, if I do integrate it with the health bar, how do I make it look good? And where should I put the health bar? I kind of like it to be on the player though, because that's where you're going to be focused. If you want to integrate it into the health bar, it could chip it with the decreased number. Right. With like a second bar and there's like blank space. Yeah. Well, I mean, I could put the health bar right here so you could actually see it. Ooh, I kind of like, I don't know. Let's try that. Maybe we don't even need damage numbers. RuneScape has damage numbers on you. It's more of a top-down-ish game, so it's easier to like see who's getting damaged. I want this to go down here, so we're gonna do that. And because we're on the grid, it moves very nicely. Is that centered? I have a feeling that's not centered. We want space for our weapon thing, so this is actually good. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that. It actually... I kind of like that. I don't like that. Oh, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. You can actually see your health bar now while you're in combat. I like this a lot. How do we make it cleaner, though? I really like this health bar. And then, yeah, only show it. Well, maybe only show it if your health is changing. How about that? You'd only show it if the health is actually changing. Well, I kind of like just always seeing it, though. So, like, you have your weapon, you have your ammo, and then you have your health, and you have your quick slots. And it's centered. The problem is, like, sometimes it's centered and sometimes it's not. But it's mostly not. So let's slide it to the right a little bit. I guess I didn't move the number, but that looks better. That's much better. Okay. The way you would do a health bar that shows damage taken is having a third text displayer that changes a second after the first. Right. You're right. I don't think it would be that hard. Let's try it. No, we are still having that issue. This is a hard problem. I will look at this later. This is a really difficult problem though. We still made a ton of progress today. I really like how the enemy turned out. Yeah, this was, we finished the enemy, like, for real. The enemy is actually done, which is really cool.